7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the 2024 edition of Africa's #1 Global Summit on personal branding.
The rise of AI.
As the world has become more global, the scale over which location branding takes place has moved from streets to cities and now to nations.
But I think the most important thing that I've learned to be is to be as objective as possible, be able to take on board criticism.
And when you fail, you have to pick yourself up. Even if your ego begins to tell you so many stories, even if your ego begins to give you so many labels on how to label yourself.
Career, yes, you can build a career doing something. There's also building business doing that thing. So it is never a waste of time.
Every personal brand must have their lead offer. And your lead offer is to attract the right type of clients to you.
Regardless of who you are, you can showcase your talent. No matter where you operate from, you can showcase your talent.
When you get inspired, you need to apply it. To apply that inspiration you get,
make sure that you are at the right place at the right time. Where's that guardian of the next people, the big shots in your industry, or an industry that you want to connect with?
You need to define what your values are. What are the things you will never ever do? What are the things that people can swear that no, this person will never do it.
You see, the audience that you don't feed with content, will not give you money.
You're going to attract only the people that you believe in what you believe in. You're going to attract people that are trying to achieve the goals that are very similar to what you're trying to achieve.
Be very clear on what you bring to the table. You could find that, and like one of my colleagues mentioned, not everything that you bring to the table is sellable.
Remember, there are a lot of people that are talking that are not as equipped as you to be speaking, so there's no harm in learning along the way and stumbling and figuring it out.
The rise of AI.
Introducing Sit and Tickets, your go-to event ticketing partner. We have different tools available to ensure smooth admission control for your events. We have the tablets and we have the scanners. Now, our scanners comes in two different forms. We have the PDA scanners, which our agents are going to use to scan your codes at the entry of the event. And we have the DIY scanners, meaning do it yourself, which you are going to scan by yourself at the entry of the event, and then you'll be allowed to go in.
I'm super happy to be at the MTN 2023 Sales Conference. It's been an amazing experience. Kudos to Seats and Tickets. The sign-in using the QR code made it seamless.
We are having our 2023 Sales Conference and the theme is Lead. It's been beautiful. I like the fact that we have the QR codes. You just use your phone to scan.
Visit www.sitsandticket.com today for your event tickets. Thank you.
The 2024 edition of Africa's #1 Global Summit on personal branding, the rise of AI.
Welcome. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you're joining us from. I'd like to welcome you to the 4th edition of Africa's #1 Global Summit on personal branding. My name is Emeka Ebeniro. I'm the host and convener of this conference, and I want to welcome you. It's been an amazing journey for us. For the past 3 years, now 4 years, we have been fostering the growth of individuals, organizations, and institutions using personal branding. And this year, we're taking it to the next level because we understand the importance of technology and how AI is changing things around us. And that is why this year we dedicated this edition to the rise of AI. We have amazing speakers, coaches, experts from different parts of Africa and even the world. And I need to tell you this year's is an African summit. No, but it's more like a global summit, but we have people from African descent as our speakers. And this year, we have our first speaker who is from Nigeria, but obviously not staying in Nigeria, but he's from Nigeria. And I'll be sharing more about that. But before I talk about my first speaker, I'd like to welcome you. In our usual fashion, we'd like you to share where you're joining us from. Put it in the comments. Are you in the UK? Are you in the US? Are you in Canada? Are you in Nigeria? Are you in Uganda? Are you in Kenya? Are you in Cameroon? Are you in Ghana? Wherever you're joining us from, please put that in the comments. We'd love to hear from you and welcome you to this summit. Once again, my name is Emeka Ebeniro, and we have an amazing array of amazing speakers. We also have a workshop. Yes, in this year's edition, we decided to give back to the community by training people on the importance of AI and how they can leverage AI to grow their business and also their careers. We'll be sharing that video shortly. But before I do that, I need to know, okay, yes, I see some people here. I need to know where you're joining us from. Oh, yes, I have my brothers from Kenya. Thank you so much, James. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, we also have Candid here. Thank you so much. We'd like to welcome each and every one of you. This is an amazing conference, and I know you're excited as much as I am. So what we're going to be doing right now, we're going to be going on a short break where we will share with you what we've been able to do to impact the community with using AI and also helping them understand the best way to use technology.
Hi, my name is Lasisi Shionfomi. I'm one of the facilitators of the Content Creation Strategy with AI workshop. And one thing I can say is this workshop so far, I've seen how it has impacted people's life, how that, people that didn't know what they could do with AI, I've been able to understand how they can make their brand visible with the use of AI. And, hearing the questions, some of the people had to ask me, I could tell that, they are going to implement all of these things they've learned in their personal, brands and also in companies they work for.
The workshop was very impactful. I got to learn new things about content creation and also how to explore using AI tools. And what really stood out for me is the section where Mr. Emeka took and spoke about how we can actually use AI to create content.
Coming from a place where I wasn't so big on content creation, I think I'm leaving the workshop wanting to implement this knowledge.
I learned a lot from the content strategy workshop.
Sometimes I might be overwhelmed with what to put out in my music creation, but I get to consult maybe tools like ChatGPT, and also I'll be able to link these things with other apps to get a better result. So it was very important for me.
Miss Lasisi actually broke it down to the simplest that even a child can understand, and she made it seem so seamless and comprehensive, such that she explained how you can navigate content creation on social media now that the world is going vast and the world is going more digital. So as a business person, with the whole struggle of finance and getting somebody to manage your page, manage your brand for you, now you can do that on your own with the use of AI. And she taught us extensively how you can put AI to good use to help you with your video creation, your graphics design, and even down to your captions. So it was very seamless and very impactful.
Alright, and so inclusively in the training, there was a place where we got to see a video of Mr. Emeka, the man that put all this together. And from all the things that he said, I think I'm really beginning to plan a trip, to some places. Let's get a few ideas from ChatGPT.
Emeka Ebeniro, the convener of the Personal Branding Summit, also shared insight and practical ways on how, you can use AI to plan trips, to land your dream job, and also to write books. And, I could see the surprises in people's faces and how wow they
Welcome back from that short break. We're super excited to have you here. I'm looking at the comments. I'm looking at people. I have some of my brothers here joining us. Yes, we have James from Kenya. We also have Lindiwe from Kenya. Oh, I also have my Ugandan brothers and sisters here. Thank you all so much for joining. Oh, awesome, awesome. I also have Edward and Nejo from LinkedIn. Oh, awesome, awesome. This is great, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're super excited and we're welcoming here. This is amazing for us. We love to have you here. And like you saw, we've been having workshops in different parts of the country. We had that in Nigeria. I'm also going to be bringing a workshop in the UK because that's where I'm based right now. We're going to be having workshops in the UK where we'll be training people how they can effectively use AI and technology to grow their businesses and careers. That is one mission we are on, and we are super excited, and we want to help as much as we can, and we'd like to partner with you. So if this is something you're interested in, why don't you drop it in the comments and reach out to us, where we'd love to partner with you so that we can bring this knowledge and our expertise to help the community, build their businesses and also build their careers using AI and technology. Over the past 3 years, we have been doing this summit, and in the first edition, we had one of our speakers in the person of Uche Ugo, who was at the very first edition, and this year we lost Uche Ugo. So on behalf of the Personal Branding Summit, we'd like to pay a tribute to our brother, our friend, and our speaker and thought leader, Uche Ugo.
Those are my people. For Brimo has Larry has done something that it's not everybody. Brimo is not for everybody. Brimo has its own time. So what you don't know. You need the clarity, number one, before you can brand yourself as a professional, and you need to believe in yourself. Like I said earlier, you need to believe in yourself that you're a brand, you're a business. Because at the end of the day, people are watching you, people need to invest in you. But if you don't take yourself serious, nobody's going to invest in you. You can ask
Welcome back. We really love and miss Uche Ugo. He was a voice in the space of personal branding. He was a brother and a friend to me, and I really miss him. And I wish he was here. Honestly, I wish he was here. I'm short of words. It's really painful to know that a young man just had to go to the other side. But we thank God that, as we say, God knows best. And, we spread our love and our hearts go out to his family and his loved ones. And Uche, we miss you. And we know that you're watching us from heaven and you're wishing us well. Thank you. So guys, that's a really tough one for me, but we're still here. We'll be going on a short break, and when we come back, we'll be going right into our first speaker of the day. So we'll be back after the short break.
The 2024 edition of Africa's #1 Global Summit on Personal Branding, the rise of AI.
The journey of 1,000 miles only begins with what? One step. And we all have what it takes. As long as you stay consistent, persistent, and nothing else can hold you back. Over the last 3 years, we founded Property Wealth Education, and we help mentor, we teach people exactly what to do in property in building their own wealth.
Yes, I know you know who I'm about to bring up now. He's none other than, okay, let me hold it. I'm going to be sharing his profile, but this gentleman has gone against all odds. He has surmounted so many challenges to become a voice in the real estate sector right here in the UK. And I am super excited because he's a brother, he's a Nigerian just like myself. And our lives, our paths crossed, and ever since then, it's been one level of excellence to the other. And I can't wait for you to hear his story and how he's leveraging AI to grow his business and separate himself from the competition. If you know, the property industry is a very competitive one, but very few people have been able to step aside or step away from the crowd, and he's one of them. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be bringing up the one and only
Dr. Daniel Moses is a highly regarded and accomplished individual who has left an indelible mark on the property industry. As the founder and CEO of Property Wealth Education, he has helped thousands of individuals achieve financial freedom and build generational wealth through property investment. With a vast range of knowledge and expertise, he has consistently demonstrated outstanding leadership skills throughout his career. Dr. Moses is an entrepreneur in the truest sense of the word, taking on financial risks with his various business ventures in pursuit of success, impact, and profitability. Dr. Daniel understands better than most that with the right guidance and a willingness to work hard, anyone can achieve success. He has over 1,000 satisfied mentored clients and extensive experience in assisting others in achieving their goals. Dr. Daniel is a devoted husband and father who is guided by a strong commitment to family values and his faith in God, which motivates him to continue teaching others how to build generational wealth through property and business. Dr. Daniel Moses has developed himself into a seasoned businessman, turning opportunity into fortune at every turn. His knowledge and experience is broad and highlights what he knows best. Alongside his experience, he has developed many skills that have made him an expert in many roles. He is proficient in a range of areas including the following: property acquisition, property management, property investment, wealth generation, success thinking, motivational talk, inspirational talk, entrepreneurship. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Dr. Daniel Moses.
Welcome, 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 Dr. Daniel Moses. Can you hear us clearly? Can you hear me clearly?
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, loud and clear. Welcome, 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 Dr. Daniel Moses. We'd like to welcome you to the Personal Branding Summit. And we have so many people. We have people from South Sudan saying hi to you. We have people from Kenya saying hi. We have people from Nigeria saying hi as well. We have people from Uganda saying hi as well, Dr. Moses. So you're welcome.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. I'm so super fired up to be here. For the lady or the man from Uganda, I want to say that is my country, my second country. My wife is from Uganda. And I just want to say a big, 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 big congratulations to you for being in the room. I know there are many more in the room, and for wherever you're from as well, I just also want to say congratulations to all of you for being in the room tonight. So yes, I'm sure probably you guys was maybe thinking I'm going to be talking about property or maybe talking about AI. But I wanted to talk about, because this is an AI a summit, and it was also a summit that talks about branding. So I wanted to kind of share a very, very key simple steps for every single one of you in the room today to just understand the power of personal branding, especially, my good friend here, Emeka, is an expert in using AI to basically help individuals to to expand and to create very, very, powerful brands. So the topic I want to talk about today is how to go from unknown to unforgettable. And I'm going to be sharing very key steps, okay, with you guys on how these can, make a serious impact in your business. Now, I want to give you a very, very simple case scenario before the beginning of our conversation. I want this to be a very, very interesting, conversation, and I want you to be able to chat on the chat sections. And I also want you to be able to engage, whether you're watching on the live stream sessions on LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever you're watching from. Okay. So having said that, Mr. Jen, I wanted to paint a scenario for you. I want to paint a scenario for you, and I want you to imagine yourself in this particular situation or in this particular environment. Now, just think about this for a minute. You are in a crowded party. You're surrounded by so many people, and everyone is having a champagne, we're having wine, and we're having very great conversation. And all of a sudden, somebody walks into the room. And when this enigma, this person of power, this person of impact walks into the room, and all of a sudden, everybody's head in the room starts to turn. Eyelashes start to look, people are murmuring, people are whispering. Who is this person? Is this person here in this room? And I'm sure from time to time, every single one of you have been in parties, in conferences, and you say, oh my God, I can't believe this individual has just walked into this room. Now, what sets this individual apart from you and the rest of every single person in that room? So today I want to dive into stories and strategies that allows you as an entrepreneur, you as a CEO, as a manager, as a director, or as a freelancer, what sets them apart? The power of personal branding. Now, personal branding, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately I couldn't be sharing the slide. I wanted to just have a conversation with you guys. Now, the power of personal branding until maybe in the last 10 years, okay, the buzzwords started to kind of started to erupt like a little bit of a volcano, expanding, and people started to become very aware of it. Okay, I need to brand myself. I need to be seen. I need to be heard. But people haven't actually understood the actual impact of actually becoming that brand of yourself, of who you are, so that other people can look at you when you come into that particular case scenario that I painted at the beginning of the conversation, which was you're in this crowded environment, and all of a sudden Dr. Danny Moses walks in. Now, what sets Dr. Danny Moses apart from the rest, which is the part of going from unknown to becoming unforgettable? I've been an entrepreneur for the last 22 years in total. If I'm very clear with that number now, but I actually used to use the word 20 years. I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years and over. Now, I wish I knew the power of personal branding, how much impact it can have in your business. Now, I came to understand the power of personal branding, and I'll tell you a little bit of a story again. In 2016, I started to learn about property. And when I started to learn about property, I did not know how to find the money that I need to invest in property or money I need to use to get it started in the UK. Now, as a first generational immigrant, I've lived in the UK for over 20 years, and I did not know anybody. I did not have friends that have so much money. But the first thing I had to learn to do was to start getting on social media, was to start sharing what I was doing on social media, was telling everybody what I was doing on social media. But I did not really understand that was me trying to get known through social media, because most times social media begins, from, like a joke. A lot of us take social media like a joke. We just post one or two things in our business, but we don't really know what we're doing. So, and that was exactly what I started doing back in 2016 when I started learning. Now, I came to this situation whereby I did not have money. And I remember picking my phone up and trying to ring, family, friends, trying to ring, people who I thought I knew, people who I thought, I knew from church. And I'm looking for £5,000, and nobody in my contact list, nobody from the church, nobody from my network who was willing and able to give me £5,000. This started to build up a story in my head. How can I build a business? I'm learning about property. I'm trying to get on the property ladder. How can I get money? How can I move from a just ordinary individual to becoming someone that can actually get into business and get other people to work with me? And this story started to erupt in my head. I'm trying to think, how do I do it? I remember coming across a post on social media. I started researching, and I found this particular mentor at that time who taught me the power of personal branding and how the impact you can have in your business when you know how to build this and when you're very intentional to doing this. Now, cut long story short, the power of personal branding. I started to build more content. I started to share what I do. I started to, to showcase case studies of what I do. And gradually, this started to get picked up, by newspapers, by people sharing that post, interviews. And by the year 2019, I started leveraging on that power of personal branding. And what did I do? Raising, being able to leverage on this information that I was sharing on social media that's being picked up by interviews, that's being picked up through newspapers, that's being picked up and shared by other people. Like I said, I started like a joke. I just started like a joke. Okay? And I started sharing things on social media. But I was very inquisitive because I needed to get money. I needed to get people to buy into me. I needed people to trust me. I needed people to kind of understand, that I have potentials to grow a business. Especially, coming to a back-end story, which I will share with you guys later. In 2015, I lost over £150,000 in a business in Africa, which I will be sharing with you guys later. So I started building this, I started sharing information, and this information will get picked up by articles, by newspapers, by interviews. And cut long story short, this allowed people to start to see me more. It allowed people to hear what I had to offer. It allowed people to see what I was up to. And I was very clear, I was very intentional, there was no distraction. I wasn't trying to say I'm a property investor today, tomorrow I'm trading Forex. I wasn't trying to tell people tomorrow I'm trading Forex, then tomorrow I am a freelancer. I wasn't trying to tell people multiple things. I was just very simple with one simple message. I am a property investor. I am a property developer. I help in acquisition. I help in refurbishment. I help with rent to rent. I help with, you name it. But as long as it was communicating the word property, and as long as it was communicating the word wealth, this allowed me to raise my first £5,000. It allowed somebody that knew me from nowhere, ladies and gentlemen. And this individual was able to invest the first £5,000 into my business. And I remember being so shocked when I got that £5,000 investment in my business. And I'm like, oh my days, so this really works. This really works, and this really works. Now, remember they say, when you get a result, okay, when you get a result, in doing something, you want to do it again. You want to do it again. And I said, well, if it takes me the same level of energy to raise £5,000, I can actually build a business that within the next 6 months, the next 1 year, I can take this business to £100,000, to £200,000, to £300,000. And I remembered lockdown hit. Okay, when lockdown hit, in the lockdown, I was able to raise at least another £200,000. So remember, it started from £5,000. And I was able to increase people that was investing money into my business because I was actively sharing what I was doing on social media. And what I was sharing on social media was getting captured by newspapers, was getting captured. I was having interviews. All right, people was inviting me to events. I would share my story. I would share exactly what I was doing. And come by the year 2020 to 2023, I was able to raise a minimum of over 1.5 million, which has allowed me to grow a property net worth currently stands at just in excess of over £7.5 million, generating significant income, in that particular arm of the business. I do many things, but property is something I'm so passionate about, and this is one of the things that people know me all about. So the power of personal branding should not be something that people should take very, very, very unlikely. It helps you generate sales. It helps you generate investments. It helps you generate joint venture partnership. It helps you generate collaboration. If you're still here, I want you to go on the chat session and I want you to type in the word, I am still here. If you're still here, type in on the chat section that I'm still here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to be having an opportunity to ask, get a lot of maybe a few questions at the end of this. Now, moving away from that, ladies and gentlemen, why is this so important then for you to, build, go from unknown to becoming unforgettable? I've just given you my personal case study. I've just given you guys my personal case study of how I went from unknown to becoming unforgettable. And just a little bit of how much I've done. Today, I stand as a member of Forbes Business Council. I'm currently living in the UK, one of the fastest rising diverse Black wealth creation strategies in the UK. I've had the opportunity of writing multiple books. I have got 2 books out that has become Amazon bestseller. I currently have a podcast that is called the Wealth and Business Podcast. And I've had the opportunity of interviewing, successful entrepreneurs that has both 6-figure businesses, and now going into our New Year's, resolution is to only interview people who have built 8 to 10-figure businesses, and asking them the questions: how did you go from unknown to becoming unforgettable? Asking them the question: how did you go from, someone who just was once upon like myself and have been able to do what you do? So this is one of the reasons why it's so important to understand the power of personal branding, because the power of personal branding will allow you to connect with the right people. Obviously, you have to be very intentional. Don't go pitching 101 things at the same time. I always say this, when you build a personal brand, especially when you're on your come up. On your come up means when you're starting up, okay? When you're starting up, learn to convey one particular message, because you want to be known as an authority in your niche. You want to be known as the go-to person in what you do. Don't try to showcase multiple things. All right. Now, moving into that, why is it so important for entrepreneurs to be able to leverage on the power of going from unknown, to going into the unforgettable? Why is it so important? It's important because in the world where we are today, entrepreneurs, number one, are risk takers. Entrepreneurs, I will say, are people who never, ever, ever had to think about money first. They had to think about service. They had to think about creativity. They had to think about, how do I make this vision of myself grow so that it can serve me and it can put money back into my pocket? And this is one of the reasons why it's so important, whilst you're thinking about this vision, this risk, the ventures that you're about to embark on, it is so important that you have on the back of your mindset, how do I take one step at a time as a startup? Okay, I won't be talking about maybe people who have gone from a startup to maybe your growth phase of your business, but I'm just talking to the startup for a minute. It's very important for you to think about branding yourself from the get-go, because how many of you in this room have read The Compounding Effect? The compounding effect tells us about when you spend £1 every single day, when you spend $1 every day, when you spend £1 every day. I'm currently in Nigeria, and this is why my background is like this. I'm currently in Nigeria at the moment. When you spend £1, you spend $1, you spend £1 every single day. It compounds. By the end of the week, 7 days, you've spent £7. The same if you spend $100 by day, it goes up to, by the end of the week, you spend £700. So as you're starting as an entrepreneur, when you start to take that one little baby step forward in building your personal brand, by sharing what you do on social media, it compounds to a level where in about 2 years' time, in 3 years' time, in 4 years' time, you'll begin to dine at one with the big boys. Now, let me give you days. Let me give you guys another example. The person who has been able to utilize the power of personal brand a lot is Richard Branson. Richard Branson, when you type in, when you see Virgin Media, when you see Virgin Airlines, automatically you know the owner of that business is Richard Branson. And this is because he leveraged on the power of personal branding. He branded himself and then he branded his company. And today, Richard Branson has raised multiple finances in growing and scaling. All right. He's channeled a lot of wealth and distributing that wealth. Okay. And I can go on to share many more individuals who have been able to do this. The likes of Elon Musk, they have a personal brand, then they have a corporate brand. So personal branding is something that any one of you in the room right now shouldn't take very unseriously. You have to be very serious about the power of your personal branding. You have to be very intentional. You have to be able to use your personal brand to leverage and either drive in customers, raise finance, create collaboration or partnerships, and the list goes on and on. So in closing, because I have a very short time with you guys tonight, okay, I would highly recommend that every one of you watching right now, please make sure you follow me on social media, get connected, send me a social media message. I will be taking questions as I did promise. Okay, so let's move on to those who are already not growing their business. So for startups, I said be very intentional. For people who have already gone into the growth phase of their business, what about you never knew about the power of personal branding? For me, when I started my business, like I said, 2016 as a property, investor, property developer, acquisition expert in property in the UK. I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years or over, as I mentioned at the beginning. For the first 16 years in business, I did not know about personal branding. And I'll be very honest, a lot of people still don't understand what is personal branding. People think having a logo is personal branding. People think having a website is personal branding. People think having a particular color, a particular theme in your business is personal branding. For me, personal branding, once you get to the growing phase of your business, which already now means that you have products, okay? You have products and you have a service that you're delivering, all right? You have a product, you have a service that you're delivering, you are trying to become the master in your industry. So here are a few things you can do. You can start, if you want to try to build a personal brand, by writing vlogs every single day about specific topics, which then enables you to show up into Google ranking, people share whatever your business is all about on social media. And one of these, I also say that these things allow you to become a credible individual. It helps you become an authority because you're writing blogs about a particular thing, or you're sharing something on your media, all right, that allow that particular product or that thing that you have to offer, or that service that you have, that it's in front of so many other individuals. This is exactly what I did. And that has allowed me to raise over 1.5 million in my business, private investor finance, human beings who read my post on social media, human beings who watched what I said, human beings who saw, case study of property development that I completed. And these individuals went to, investing in my business. So when you are already a business that is already growing, that you have a great product, you have a service, you're already, having the thing that you're about, you want to be able to write about it. You want to be able to talk about that product on media. You want to be able to share those who are, using the product, okay? You want to be able to share those who are using the product. What does the product say? If you go across my entire social media, if you go across, like right now, we're celebrating the 4 years of our company. All right, 4 years of we're celebrating the 4 years of one of our companies, which is Property Education. If you go across my social media, you will see what we're doing. Whatever we started doing 4 years ago, we're currently showcasing, our journey, our testimonials, our case studies. People who have used our products that we've supported, we're taking people from 0 to 1 million, 0 to 2 million pounds, 0 to 3 million pounds. We're showcasing what we're doing. What does that do? We're promoting our brand. We're sharing that this is what we're all about. You see, branding is something that if you are not making noise and shouting about what you do right now and building a case file portfolio of your clients to showcase, in 3 months' time, in 6 months' time, in 9 months' time, in 12 months' time, all right, you are absolutely not going to have a business. You want to, from the get-go, be very intentional. And this is one of these I learned so well at the inception of my property journey. So if you're already in that growth phase in your business and you didn't know about the power of personal brand, you now need to dive in. Obviously, there are levels to this. There are levels to, going from unknown to forgettable. You have to learn to be in the room. In my book, The Test, in chapter number 10, I wrote about paying to play. And I wrote about paying to play. So for all of you in this room today, I'm going to be giving a gift away. Emeka, please reach out to me. I will be sending a copy, a link to download book, The Test.
Yeah.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to kind of park there at the moment, and I'm going to take about four or five questions. This was quite snappy, and I know my time is up. Thank you so much, Emeka, for having me.
Awesome, Dr. Daniel. Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. We know that you're back home in the motherland and you still took out time to be here today. We don't take that for granted. We are truly grateful for all that you have shared, the nuggets, the strategies, the insights that you have shared of how you've been able to use personal branding to grow your business. Looking at your story, being an immigrant, staying in the UK for so many years, I'm wondering, how can I change my narrative? How can I change my story, become a respected name in the property space? And you've pretty much given us, your playbook on how you've been able to achieve this. And we can't thank you enough, Dr. Dan. Now, looking at this year's edition, we're talking about the rise of AI. And I know that Property Wealth is doing so much in terms of innovating and leveraging technology. I'm sure you don't want to tell us, okay, I wouldn't say I'm sure, but you might. Do you want to share with us some of the ways that you're leveraging AI and technology to pretty much scale as fast as you're currently scaling? I'm sure a lot of people out there would like to know.
By the way, before I actually even say that, I really want to give it back to you, Emeka. Thank you so much. Emeka has been a key player within the Property Wealth, in-house support system. Myself and this young man became friends over the last, probably just under a year ago, and he's brought in so many creative ideas. So, guys, let me give you a very simple nugget. How AI is not just transforming my business. AI is, there's an AI being built for me at the moment called Dr. Daniel Moses. So the AI is studying all my materials to think like me, to write like me, to say how I will say things. And what that allows it to do is, once it's fully integrated into our structure, our system, that would automatically, when people write to me, or people who are not aware, about AI, or any individuals in general, when they write me an email, my AI would kind of be able to answer the question at 80% of how Dr. Daniel Moses would personally have written that email, or how Dr. Daniel Moses would have personally responded. And all it just needs to do is I just need to review and type in send. That's it. So review and type send. That's one way we're leveraging AI. Number two, we're using AI to analyze gold mining areas. What are the best areas to invest in real estate? What are the best areas that are actually driving in traffic, in terms of demand and supply of rental income? We're using AI to do that. Now, I've written 2 books that has been released. I've got 2 coming out this year and next year. Now, when I wrote my first book, it took me 2 years. When I wrote my second book, it took me about a year. When I wrote my third book, it took me less than a month because I was busy. When I wrote my fourth book, it took me just around about 5 days, right? Now, the beauty about this is that I spoke my entire book, and I spoke into my AI device. All right, I spoke the entire team, and the AI gave me the best topics from what I said, and broke it down in steps on what I said, in my own very own words, on my own very own language, in how I would actually narrate my own story. All right, let's move away from that. That's number 1. That's number 3 nugget. Number 4 nugget is I currently have a database of over 20,000 email lists. On a daily basis now, my AIs All right. Obviously, we need a human being to kind of tell you what to do. My AIs are writing our marketing materials and obviously matching them with SEOs so that when we write it, when we post it on LinkedIn, all right, it will basically go onto Google as soon as possible. So recently, Google has not created a profile in the last 6 months as some entrepreneurs in the UK. Every single thing I post automatically gets picked by SEO and get moved into Google and being seen on multiple platforms because we're using AI and we're leveraging AI correctly. I think I'll stop for there for now.
Amazing, Dr. Dan. It's you just dropped 4 major areas in your business that you're using AI. Your book, leveraging your content, search engine optimization, and the list goes on. And it's incredible because so many people out there are wondering, how can I use AI to build my business? How can I use AI to build my career? And you've heard it from Dr. Daniel in the video, in the workshop we did. Part of the things we taught at the workshop was how you can use AI to land that dream job, pass that interview, and possibly grow your content, and like Dr. Dan also said, increase your visibility through AI. There's so many ways that you can leverage AI, and that's why we put this platform together so that we can share some of these ways and not just tell you based on textbook, but you're hearing it from Dr. Dan, how he uses AI to write a book in 5 days. And the book will be written in his own tone, his own style, and also written the way he wants to write it. And that's totally amazing. And guys, don't forget, you're also going to get a copy of the test by Dr. Daniel Moses. We're going to be sharing the link to everyone that has registered so that you can download this book. And also, if you like to get in contact with Dr. Daniel Moses, possibly be mentored by him, and also if you want to buy a property in the UK, Dr. Daniel Moses is the right person to do that. So guys, we want to thank Dr. Daniel Moses for his time here. We'll be going on a short break. When we come back, guys, we have the next speaker on board. I don't know if we still have other questions. I need to check this. Let me check if we have questions. Oh, wow. All right. Thank you so much. Yes. Okay, thank you, Doctor. Yes, Faith. Yes, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. I'm sure you've all learned so many amazing ways in which you can use AI for your business. So we're going to go on this short break. When we come back, we will be having our next speaker.
The test is here. The test is all about helping you transition from the ordinary to the extraordinary. I've been through this journey myself. I went from an ordinary guy to becoming an extraordinary individual. And you too can become extraordinary. The test is all about helping you convert your weakness, your struggles, your adversity, your pain, your challenges to becoming a success, to become an overcoming entrepreneur. I wrote this book, The Test, to empower you, make you understand challenges make you stronger and challenges make you becoming a successful entrepreneur. Now click on the link below this video, get yourself a copy of this book. I want to see how this book has transformed you. I want to hear from you the successes, the greatness that you've achieved for yourself after reading this book. I can't wait to see you there. I'll see you soon. Take care. The journey of 1,000 miles only begins with what? One step. And we all have what it takes. As long as you stay consistent, persistent, and nothing else can hold you back. Over the last 3 years, we founded Property Wealth Education, and we help mentor, we teach people exactly what to do in property in building their own wealth.
Hi, my name is Lasisi Shionfomi. I'm one of the facilitators of the content creation strategy with AI workshop. And one thing I can say is this workshop so far, I've seen how it has impacted people's life, how that, people that didn't know what they could do with AI, I've been able to understand how they can make their brands visible with the use of AI. And, hearing the questions, some of the people had to ask me, I could tell that, they are going to implement all of these things they've learned in their personal, brands and also in companies they work for.
The workshop was very impactful. I got to learn new things about content creation and also how to explore using AI tools. And what really stood out for me is the section where Mr. Emeka took and spoke about how we can actually use AI to create content.
Coming from a place where I wasn't so big on content creation, I think I'm leaving the workshop wanting to implement this knowledge.
I learned a lot from the content strategy workshop.
Sometimes I might be overwhelmed with what to put out in my music creation, but I get to consult maybe tools like ChatGPT, and also I'll be able to link these things with other apps to get a better result. So it was very impactful for me.
Miss Lasisi actually broke it down to the simplest that even a child can understand. And she made it seem so seamless and comprehensive, such that she explained how you can navigate content creation on social media now that the world is going vast and the world is going more digital. So as a business person, with the whole struggle of finance and getting somebody to manage your page, manage your brand for you, now you can do that on your own with the use of AI. And she taught us extensively how you can put AI to good use to help you with your video creation, your graphics design, and even down to your captions. So it was very seamless and very impactful.
Alright, and so inclusively in the training, there was a place where we got to see a video of Mr. Emeka, the man that put all this together. And from all the things that he said, I think I'm really beginning to plan a trip, to some places. Let's get a few ideas from ChatGPT.
Emeka Ebeniro, the convener of the Personal Branding Summit, also shared insight and practical ways on how, you can use AI to plan trips, to land your dream job and also to write books. And, I could see the surprises in people's faces and how wow they
the 2024 edition of Africa's #1 Global Summit on Personal Branding, the rise of AI.
Welcome back from that break. If you're just joining us, then you're on to Africa's #1 Global Summit on Personal Branding. I am your host and convener, Emeka Ebeniro. And this is the 4th edition and the rise of AI. And in case you're wondering, why did we decide to talk about AI? It's no more a secret. Everybody knows that AI is pretty much going to take over some people's job. But like I always say, AI won't take over your job, but the people that use AI will take over your job. And just before we went on that break, we had Dr. Daniel Moses, the founder of Property Wealth Education, a multi-award winning property investor and property developer, and also a multi-millionaire with property portfolios. Dr. Daniel Moses talked about his journey, how he started in the property industry in 2016, and just about 4 years of starting his business, he has been able to build an amazing team and raise so much money in his property business. And like he also shared, he said you too can do the same. But one key ingredient, one key secret that helped him separate him from every other person and escalated his growth was his personal brand. He went further by sharing that one thing you need to start doing right now is documenting your progress. Yes, you need to document your progress. Let the world know what you're doing, how well you're doing it. Even if you're learning a new skill, let the world know that you're learning a new skill. And we've put this together, this platform, so that people like Dr. Daniel Moses and even you watching us at home or in the office, on your device, or wherever you are, anywhere in the world, can do the same. You have a story. The world wants to hear your story, but please do not hide that story and let that story just be to yourself. No, share that story to the world. We want to learn from you. We want to hear from you because we can relate to your journey. One thing that really caught my attention with working with Dr. Daniel Moses and following his journey is because he's an immigrant and I am an immigrant myself living in the UK. And we all know that being an immigrant, you do not really don't have any support structure or friends or family that you can run to when it comes to raising funds for your business or even guiding you the right way. So imagine being in a foreign land and you have to do it all by yourself. But against all odds, against all the trials and tribulation, he was able to break loose and become who he is today. And that is why we celebrate Dr. Daniel Moses. We're going to be taking a few questions before we call our next guest, and we'll be going right into that. So let me check if you have any questions. Why don't you put that in the chat while I take your questions? So I have this one here. He said, my question is, how do you use your brand to sell multiple products? Would you look confusing to your customers? And how do you segment your personal brand while marketing an array of them? It is I wouldn't say it is easy, but there's a strategy behind the madness, if you allow me put it that way. Now, the thing about building a personal brand is you build a brand for yourself, your values, what you believe in. You're not building a brand and attaching a product or service to your brand. No. Every big brand out there, Stephen Bartlett, Richard Branson, Tony Elumelu of Nigeria, and the list goes on, Elon Musk, and the list goes on. They build their brands for themselves. You need people to like you and trust you first. And because people trust you, every product you have under you or you're associated with, they will now trust that product. That is why it is important for you to build your brand first. Build your brand first. And talking about building your brand, I have something I also want to share with you guys. My book, Brand Brilliance, is out. Yes, I'm going to be sharing the link. You can get it on Amazon. Brand Brilliance, the 5 dimensions to building an irresistible personal brand. To everyone that registered, you'll be getting details about that. And also, you also need to join the VIP experience, because at the VIP experience, which is taking place on Sunday, you get the opportunity to sit down with the speakers and ask them questions. Yes, it's a workshop. You're going to be asking them questions. They'll be breaking down some of this concept into more detail, and you can learn from them. And also, you will get their product at a discounted rate. Yes, you will get that. So all their products, everything you want, their freebies, their product, you will get that and much more at the VIP experience. Also, you would also get access to my ebook, the Brand Authority Playbook. So the Brand Authority Playbook, the digital OS, and also access to products from Haoma, products from Dr. Daniel Moses, from Faith Fetaru, from Mengu, Sherastin, from Felix Fomgang, and also from Emily Wale Koya and myself. You get all this. Imagine getting all this bundle just by upgrading to the VIP experience. So I'm sure that's something you want to be a part of. So I'll take that again. Make sure you're building your brand so that people can love, like, and trust you. And then when they do that, they can now buy all the other products that you produce. So if you have any other questions, please put it in there while we get ready to welcome our second speaker for tonight. She is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. I'm super excited because this lady here is the heavyweight. So we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, guys, we're going to bring in the amazing one and only
the 2024 edition of Africa's #1 Global Summit on Personal Branding, the rise of AI.
Haoma is an award-winning thought leader who has helped thousands of business owners and corporate professionals gain visibility and secure the right opportunities on the world's largest professional network, LinkedIn. Recognized as a LinkedIn top voice in the marketing category, Haoma is also a distinguished member of the Global LinkedIn Certified Marketing Insiders Network. Through her impactful training and coaching programs, people have achieved life-changing milestones, from securing dream jobs and clients to seizing global opportunities. In 2022, she was listed as one of the top 60 African women in development by Donors for Africa and one of the 30 most influential young people by the African Youth Development Group. She was also recognized by Sealer as one of the top 100 creators on the African continent, thanks to her digital products, which have significantly impacted the visibility and professional branding of career and business professionals worldwide. Her 2 books, Morning Star and 10 Things I Wish I Knew Before Showing Up on LinkedIn, have collectively reached a global audience of over 1,500 readers as of August 2023. Utilizing her speaking engagement, writings, and social media content as channels, Haoma passionately pursues her dream of seeing more Africans like herself gain visibility and effectively promote themselves, their careers, and their businesses on digital media platforms, particularly LinkedIn. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Haoma.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I hope we are ready because the one and the only LinkedIn queen is in the building.
Hello, Mr. Emeka. How are you? So good to see you.
Thank you so much. Good to see you. Thank you so much for coming. We're super excited to have the LinkedIn queen in our midst, the one and only morning star, Haoma. How you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you. Well done, and happy birthday.
Thank you. Whoa, that's true. I've not even told anyone on the platform that today's my
Really?
birthday. So guys,
oh my goodness.
yes.
We should for you.
Yes, so guys, you heard it. Alma said it. Today is my birthday. I'm super excited that the conference coincided with my birthday. But what can we do? We're here to serve you, to bring you the best of speakers, experts, coaches, consultants, so that you can learn. If this is all I give to you today, I hope you're happy and you're satisfied.
Oh, thank you. Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. Yes. So do you want to share your slide? Are you ready?
Yes, I want to share my slides. I don't know. So I'll usually use Google Meet, but let's see how this works. It's uploading. I don't know if you can see it back end.
Okay, it's not yet. Once it comes up. So guys, get ready while Haoma is putting together her slide. Make sure you come with your questions because this amazing lady here is, when you say there are your influencer's favorite influencer is in the building. Haoma is your influencer's favorite influencer, and she's helping people not only get visibility on LinkedIn, but also become top voices. From a top voice myself, I know how important that is in building a personal brand. So this lady is going to, yes, can I put that on screen?
Yes, please.
Awesome.
Oh, all right. Still, let me do something. I think you should remove this one so that I share from my screen and I can move it easily. Is that fine?
Okay. All right. I should remove this one. Okay.
Yeah. Can you see?
There, I see 2 here.
Exactly. That's it. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. Good evening. I'm so excited to be here today. Well done again, Mr. Emeka, for putting together this. I'm sure this was a lot of sacrifice. Whatever he has told you to do, please do it, right? Because you won't regret, right? You can already see the amount of influence and the level of influence he has to bring these sort of speakers to you. Today, I'm going to be speaking to you about using AI to increase your visibility and profitability on LinkedIn. But most importantly, I've noticed that whenever I go to speak at places and I'm talking about LinkedIn, there's sort of like some resistance because of how people feel about LinkedIn, right? Some people think, oh, it's for overly serious people, or LinkedIn is not for me. LinkedIn is just weird, right? Maybe it's just for people that come to announce stuff. But I want to debunk that myth. And so instead of just talking about AI and LinkedIn, I want us to talk about how to become the most attractive person in your sector on LinkedIn using AI. And before we continue, I would like to introduce myself for anybody that does not know me. My name is Haoma Worgwu. I'm popularly known as the LinkedIn Queen, basically because of the tremendous impact and help I have given to people on LinkedIn. I've currently directly helped over 3,000 people in 23 countries, no more 18, to actually gain visibility on LinkedIn, sell better, secure jobs, clients on LinkedIn, which happens to be the world's largest professional network. I'm also one of LinkedIn's community top voices. Last year, I was listed as one of the top 20 most powerful women on LinkedIn worldwide, one of the top 200 LinkedIn creators worldwide, top 5 in Nigeria, apparently top 2 in Nigeria. Number 1 is Mr. Tony Elumelu. Basically, I currently have about 90,000 plus people connected to me on LinkedIn. I basically feed from my presence there. And I'm here today because I want to help somebody listening to me gain that kind of traction, right, for your career or your business. And most importantly, I want to show you how you can do it using artificial intelligence, right? Artificial intelligence is becoming a buzzword now, and I don't want you to miss out on the whole trend. And that's why I'm here today. So I have just 4 goals in this session, right? I have about 30 minutes or 45 minutes, I don't know, or less than an hour. The first thing I would like us to achieve is that I want to move you from the place of being unseen, unknown, or unheard on LinkedIn to actually being the most attractive, right? That's the go-to brand in your sector on LinkedIn. Remember the topic I said we're going to be talking about, how to become the most attractive person in your sector on LinkedIn. Then the second thing is basically to help you begin. For those that are not on LinkedIn, I've helped them, most people that join my program and they are not even on LinkedIn yet. They're just opening their LinkedIn profile. And if these people have been able to now see traction just by listening to me, I believe that no matter where it is you are on LinkedIn, whether you have a LinkedIn account currently or not, you are going to see significant results after listening to me and implementing what I'll tell you to do. And number 3, I want you to move from the person who is intimidated or confused on LinkedIn to the brand who is patronized, followed, or hired. And finally, I'll show you how to use AI to increase your visibility and profitability on LinkedIn. I can't see the chat. I would really like a very interactive session to know if you guys are following, but you can just put in chat if you are following. Okay, Kayeta said, indeed, you are the influencer's favorite influencer. Okay, so I've loved us to play a game, but because I can't see, I don't know if Mr. Emeka can, I don't know if I can see people, but I would love us to play a game. And if possible, I'd like to even give out a gift for the winner of this particular game, right? I want to believe some people are listening to me. To the winner of the game, I'm going to give you free access to the next cohort of my LinkedIn growth program, right? Or I'll allow you to choose between that, or I'll give you a copy of my book for free. Now, wherever you are, I want you to put your 10 fingers up, right? Just put your 10 fingers up and honestly answer my questions. Honestly, emphasis on honestly. When I say something that you can relate to, please just put your 1 finger down, right? Okay, Clement is listening. Okay, I have people. So I want to believe your fingers are up. The first question is, I want you to put a finger down, right? You have 10 up, right? I want you to put a finger down. If you have ever felt pressured, intimidated, or jealous on LinkedIn, please put a finger down. Be honest. Be honest. If you have ever felt pressured, jealous, or intimidated on LinkedIn, put a finger down. Or you can put it in the chat, finger down, since I can't see you. Then number 2, put a finger down if most times you don't know what to put out on LinkedIn. You don't understand LinkedIn. Sometimes you might try to put out one content here or there, but it gets to a point where you're like, what's going to be my next content? You're more comfortable on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook than LinkedIn. Put your finger down. Okay. Put another finger down if you think LinkedIn is only for a specific type of people, right? overly serious people, or alpha people, alpha females or males, or a superior caliber of people, put another finger down. And then put another finger down if you have ever used LinkedIn to stalk somebody. Whether you are a recruiter, you are a friend, and you want to know where your primary school mate is working now, and you have used LinkedIn to stalk this person, put your finger down. Then second to the last, put a finger down if you think LinkedIn people are just so proud. They don't know what they are doing. All they know how to do is just to go on LinkedIn and announce one thing or the other. Just put your finger down. And finally, put a finger down if you think LinkedIn presence optimization and even profile optimization is overrated. Like, why do you need it? Put a finger down. If you have, now tell me how many fingers you have left. Just put in the chat how many fingers. Who has 10 left? Who has 10 fingers still up? You didn't put any finger down at all. Just put in the chat, or put the number you have. If it's 8, if it's 1, if it's 0. My sister is in the room. She has 0 down. Just put your, tell me in the chat so I know the kind of people that I'm talking to. Okay, now, right, while I wait to pick my winner by seeing what you put in the chat, I want you to understand that in your journey to really utilizing AI to build a visible or profitable brand, okay, Dorothy has 9 fingers left. I think Dorothy is my winner, right? Dorothy, you can send me a DM on Instagram or LinkedIn for your gift. Okay, don't worry. I might have another gift while we are going on. So just stay connected and stay attentive. Now, while you are trying to really build an attractive or a profitable and visible brand on LinkedIn or anywhere at all using artificial intelligence, the first thing you need to understand is that you first of all have to build or have an attractive brand concept. The reason is because AI can only enhance your raw material, in quotes. AI can only enhance what you give AI to work with, right? So there's some people that want to start showing up on LinkedIn or Instagram, or you just want to build a brand and you're wondering, how can I use artificial intelligence to just make this process smoother? If you don't have a concept already, you might struggle. Do you understand? You might struggle. So you need to first of all identify or determine what your brand concept is. And I'm going to make it very easy for you to understand what exactly your brand concept can look like. Now, what exactly is a personal brand, right? Your personal brand is basically what comes to the minds of people when your name is mentioned, right? So when they mention Haoma, what comes to the minds of people? I remember when I went to speak at Covenant University and the MC asked, what do you people know Haoma for? And everybody chorused LinkedIn. That's a brand that has been built over time. In fact, I was thinking they were going to mention another thing that I used to do. And I was wondering, okay, that means I'm actually building a brand around this subject matter because this is what I'm showing up to communicate, right? Because when you now understand the concept of your entire brand, that's when you can now use AI to enhance that perception and the visibility and even make more money from that brand, right? So let's talk about really identifying or creating your own brand concept. And the first experience that I had with branding, like real branding, was when it was about 2 years ago when I wanted to attend a particular conference, right? And then I paid a lot of money for that conference and I had to make my money back by all means because of the amount of sacrifice that it took me to go for that conference. And then in the process of trying to figure out how I'll make my money back and stuff like that, I decided to just ask God, how exactly can I make this money back? The people that are going to be coming for this conference are really top people in their fields, right? And then there was something God told me to do, and He told me to research on the most valuable mineral or the most valuable thing He has created. I was thinking it was gold, but then when I went to the internet, it was actually diamonds, and I noticed that diamonds were really highly priced, right? And then God told me that if I can become the diamond brand in my sector, I would have people gravitating towards me easily, right? Because people come towards value very easily, right? Diamonds can be priced this amount of money. Imagine this diamond here that is being sold at $1 million per carat. That's some ridiculous money, right? This is $83 million per carat. This golden one is $35 million per carat. This blue one is $57 million per carat. With the current dollar rates, you can already understand how expensive, right? Or I don't want to use the word expensive, how valuable this thing is, right? So in the bid to build a brand, before AI even comes, you need to, first of all, determine that you are going to be the diamond brand in your sector, right? The brand that people want to pay you to join your programs, people want to pay you for your services, people want to really, they want to follow you, basically. Now, in my research, I discovered that diamonds were very expensive, or they were priced that way because of four things. The first reason why diamonds are very expensive is their cuts, right? Or the reason why one diamond will be more expensive than the other is the cut or the shape of the diamond. So now you realize that diamonds that have unique shapes are more expensive than the ones that are more common. Relating it to your brand, right? You know that product differentiation will make you stand out from every sector. In fact, I had a particular photo shoot for a campaign. It's called the Lady Boss campaign last week. And when we were having the photo shoot, I was asked a particular question. And the interview question was this. The lady was asking me, oh, I'm telling people to show up online. I'm telling people to start like being vocal concerning their value. That what can people do in a situation whereby there's a lot of noise? I don't know if you have been in that situation whereby everybody has become a content creator, everybody just saying one thing or the other, and because you really don't value saturated markets, it is holding you back from actually coming online to now build a brand and talk about what you do. And this, what I told her is that authenticity will always stand out in every or any saturated market, right? If I had a box of hand gloves and then they were all black hand gloves and one pink hand glove, no matter how many black hand gloves are in that box, the pink one will always stand out. Why? Because of differentiation. So in your sector, you need to start asking yourself, what are the things people are not doing, right, that I can do? Because that's one of the easiest market entry strategies that you can ever use. I'll use myself as an example. There are a lot of people that teach LinkedIn visibility, right? There are a lot of LinkedIn coaches around the world, but then entering the saturated markets, right? And in my bid to build a very visible and profitable brand, I had to ask myself, what is it that other people don't have the energy to do? You see, there's so much noise, but there's very little depth. And the people that can take it upon themselves to really harness the depth in their sectors, they will easily stand out. And those are the people that can easily increase their influence. These are the people that can increase their impact and even their income. So you need to start asking yourself for really the loopholes or the places that people do not pay attention to that you can use to enter. So in my case, I noticed that everybody was doing LinkedIn profile optimization. That's all they were doing. They would train people for LinkedIn profile and all those kind of stuff. And I told myself, why don't I take it a notch higher, right? And in doing this, you will better do this when you understand the main problem and the pain point of your target audience. What exactly keeps them up at night? It will be so surprising to some of you that you actually don't know the problems of your target audience, right? In this situation, these people that were teaching about profile optimization, they did not understand what was the main pinpoint of their target audience. After analyzing, I noticed that a lot of people's problem in my sector was not even just optimizing their profile. It was actually showing up on LinkedIn. Most people did not know the kind of content to put out. Some people did not have the right pictures. Some people did not have, they were scared of low post engagement and all those stuff. And so I devised something that could fill or solve their major problem. So in my program, we have profile optimization, which is not even the major thing, but we do it. I give them content templates to show up. In fact, I'm giving them free photo shoots and all these things that no one else is doing. Do you understand? So in your bid to build a visible and profitable brand, you have to do what other people are not doing. And you can do that when you intentionally ask yourself, what keeps my target audience up at night? And then the second thing is clarity. Diamonds that had fewer number of inclusions, or rather clearer diamonds were more expensive. Now, in your case, you need to understand that the easier it is to understand what you do, the better it is for people to connect with you, for people to want to follow you, right? And in this season, when artificial intelligence is really buzzing, ChatGPT can help you really demystify whatever it is you do to even a 5-year-old, right? With just one prompt. I made a post on LinkedIn some weeks ago and I asked them, it was like a game I was playing, and I asked them, can you explain your craft to a 5-year-old, right? I would have just put the link to that post here, and it will just make you laugh, the kind of things people were saying, right? And then just reminded me that a lot of people actually they think they are experts, but when it comes to the nitty gritty of their craft, they can't really explain it in the simplest terms. And if you're here, you can just put in the chat, can you explain whatever it is you do to a 5-year-old? If you're a branding coach, if you see a 5-year-old or a 4-year-old, how can you tell that person or that child what you do? That is clarity, because how clear you are would really reduce, first of all, the trust issues people have when they want to pay you for stuff, or when they want to work with you, right? And I'll usually give this example. People like let's use David in the Bible, right? Now, in David's situation, David's target audience was Saul, right? When it comes to like playing his harp. Now, some people, some professionals now, or some business owners, service providers, we are so target audience focused that we forget that there are some other people that are not our target audience that can refer us to our target audience. And so we don't clearly articulate our value because we are using jargons of our sector. Let's say people in tech are using only tech terms. People in sales are using only sales terms that only people that are sales experts can understand. You need to understand that there are also people that might not be your direct target audience, but they can refer you to your target audience. So in the case of David, right, Saul was the one that was having the issue in the palace, and Saul was the target audience, but Saul did not know David. When the problem came about, it was people in the palace that said, oh, there's this David that can play the harp, right? These people were not David's target audience, but they knew David, right? So in your situation, in your whatever it is you do, as you're trying to build that brand that is visible, because you need to not only be visible and people just know your name, let people know the transformation that whatever it is you do can give them in clear terms. Clarity increases the prices of diamonds, and it can also increase your own value. And then I also noticed in the experiment that the color of the diamond also contributed to the price. So as a brand that you're trying to build, you need to ask yourself how exactly you are showing up. How do you look? In this age and time, people are very visual, right? People are very visual. Look at the video that was played before I came up to speak. That was very beautiful, right? And then all these things are like colorful things that can make your brand stand out, right? People are already getting tired of human beings introducing speakers, and now AI has come to make it look more colorful. And the way it was speaking was just making me feel myself. My sister was even here hailing the AI, or me, I don't know who exactly she was hailing, but it was just so beautiful, right? So you need to now ask yourself, how can I be the most colorful person in my sector? This way, people will gravitate towards you more. And know that when people gravitate towards you more, that's money coming towards your way. That is visibility, right? So how you look, how you show up, there's some of you that the way you are showing up online is really repelling a particular caliber of clients that could be attracted to you. No matter how valuable you are, you need to understand that there's some people that will not work with you if you look a certain way. If you've not experienced it before, you might not understand. There are some caliber of clients or people that need you to look a certain way before they can come to you, or before they can associate their brands with you. So if you're in a situation whereby you are tired of the caliber of people you're working, you need to focus on your color. How exactly are you showing up? And this was one of the reasons why I decided to include a photo shoot session for those that go through my LinkedIn Growth Program. And they're going to be having it next week, Saturday, because I'd realized that color matters a lot. And the final is the carat. So you know how carat is 2 carats, 2-carat diamonds would be more expensive than 1 carat, right? So your carats is basically your weight, your substance in your sector. That's basically what would make you stand out. Remember what I talked about, depth and noise. There's so much depth, but there are few people, there's so much noise rather, but there are few people that have the depth that can sustain an audience, a paying audience over time. So what are the things that people in your sector do? They don't know, they don't talk about, right? And one thing, and I'll give emphasis on LinkedIn, because there are a lot of business owners that are missing out on the opportunities of LinkedIn. You're basically struggling for space on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, not knowing that you have a You have first mover advantage on LinkedIn. There's one of my students that sold her snails on LinkedIn, 800 snails. She got someone to order 800 snails from her on LinkedIn. There's another one that got someone order her fabrics from Canada from LinkedIn. So what are you selling that is worse than snail or fabric that you can't put out on LinkedIn? I've had makeup artists come to learn about LinkedIn. And the good thing they always say is that there's lesser competition there because all the makeup artists are on Instagram fighting for space. So when you're trying to build a visible and profitable brand, you need to be sure of the platforms, right? You need to go to a place where your value can be appreciated, and scarcity increases value. This is a word for somebody. Why LinkedIn, basically, before we start talking specifically about AI, first of all, there's first mover advantage. I already talked about it. In 2021, only 0.16% of Africans were recorded on LinkedIn. 0.16, not even up to 0.5. So imagine you now taking it seriously now. That means you have first mover advantage. Every other person that will come after you, they'll basically have second mover advantage. You're the one that people know. Just imagine the snail lady now. If there's any other person that wants to come and start selling snails, we already know the other lady. Why? Because she was the first to move into that sector and establish the dominance of her brand in that sector. According to Hootsuite, LinkedIn, the LinkedIn audience also has higher purchasing power. According to them, the LinkedIn audience has 2 times the buying power of the average online audience. So why not show up there? And then the trust that people have on LinkedIn kind of rubs off on you. You know, when you open LinkedIn, there's a different ambience. You just feel like people here are serious, right? You just feel like anybody that has a good presence or has a strong brand on LinkedIn, that person should know what the person is doing. Do you understand? That has paid me a lot, because when people just see that I'm consistent on LinkedIn, the trust they have for LinkedIn itself tends to rub off on me. So for everybody trying to build a brand in this decade, right, I need you to understand that why not take advantage of a platform that already has trust, has already secured trust on themselves? Because as you show up on their platform, you now have the trust rubs off on you, right? And then there's ease of growth and global networking on LinkedIn. It's so easy to connect to people that are not in your country. If you've been active on LinkedIn, you know how easy it is. My growth program has recorded people from 23 countries of the world from LinkedIn. Do you understand? I don't know how Instagram can be used to target people without using ads, but on LinkedIn, even without running ads, you can literally target people. If not for time, I would have actually shown you guys how to really target people, whoever you want to target on LinkedIn. Do you understand? So there's ease of growth. LinkedIn is also the easiest platform to grow your followers, right? And I'll give you one strategy before I finish. Let me just give you now. To grow your followers on LinkedIn is basically predictable. So if today is Friday, I can predict that by Friday next week, my followers can be this particular number just by utilizing certain strategies. But you can't do that on other platforms, right? And not to say anything is wrong with those platforms. I'm just telling you what you have been missing out on, not being on LinkedIn, right? So whenever you send someone a connection request on LinkedIn and your creator mode is turned on, LinkedIn creator mode, if you don't know what it is, just search online. It's not nothing deep. If your creator mode is turned on and you send someone a connection request, immediately that person accepts your connection request, that person has become your follower automatically. So if you can predict that, okay, every week LinkedIn gives you access to 100 connection slots, that means you can send connection requests to 100 people. So if you can predict that every week I'm going to send out 100 connection slots, right? And you can say, okay, based on the fact that maybe this thing might not everybody might accept. Let's say for every 100 I send out, at least 80 should accept. So on a weekly basis, I should be growing my audience by 80 more people. How beautiful is that? But on other platforms, you can't do that. But this is what people have been missing out on, not being on LinkedIn, right? And LinkedIn also gives you opportunities, right? Like recruiters, I usually tell people recruiters are happy to search for talent on LinkedIn. People that have problems are looking for service providers on LinkedIn. But the unfortunate thing is that the service providers, right, are nowhere to be found. People that have the problem, they go to LinkedIn to look for coaches, to look for whatever it is they want to look for, talents to solve their problems. But those that have the solution, they are either running away from LinkedIn because LinkedIn is intimidating them, or they are nowhere to be found. I hope that will not be you anymore. Now, on LinkedIn, right, my own story. Currently, like I told you, I have 90,000 plus people connected to me on LinkedIn, but it was not always like that. I started showing up on LinkedIn in 2019, and I'm about to share with you how my story, my growth journey has been, and how I've also used AI to really grow on LinkedIn. Now, when I started out on LinkedIn, what I was doing is that I was just creating content on. I was dumping content on LinkedIn. That's what I usually say. I was just dumping stuff there, and unknowingly, I was building an audience of people that I was registering my brand in the minds of people. So that's where consistency comes in, right? However, my growth was slow. From 2021, when I decided to start creating relatable content that people could share, people could repost, that was when I noticed significant increase, right? And I usually tell my students, if you want to grow, increase your influence exponentially on LinkedIn, you should create content that people can repost. Why? Because whenever someone reposts your content on their own page, it's basically like the person has created content. So you now become visible to the person's own audience, right? So if I have 30 people repost my content today, it is like I have posted content on 30 different LinkedIn accounts. That's massive growth. Do you understand? So I was doing this back to back, back to back. I started creating content that people could relate to. And because let's go back to the whole court uniqueness, right? We talked about court of the diamond. Because most other people on LinkedIn were just announcing stuff. I just got the job, happy to announce all those their announcements. I stood out from the crowd because here I was. Sometimes I'll announce stuff I want to announce, but then I was more audience focused than myself focused. And that's when I started seeing tremendous growth. And then 2023, I noticed how AI could help me, right? And it was so beautiful. Let me go down. Now, how exactly can AI help your visibility? First, LinkedIn now allows you to use AI to rewrite your content. So people don't know. This is a screenshot of my LinkedIn page. I took a screenshot of it this evening before I came here. And I wrote here, hello, I'm attending the Personal Branding Summit. Now you can see this thing down here, rewrite with AI. Now, if you're in a situation whereby you don't just know what to post on LinkedIn, you just have thoughts. Let's say you attended the Personal Branding Summit. You can just go on LinkedIn and type, I just attended the Personal Branding Summit, blah, blah, blah. And then rewrite it with AI, and AI will help you structure it in a sense that will be more attractive to your target audience. So AI is helping people spend less time but create quality stuff. Do you understand? Yes, it's AI. Sometimes it's not really, I used to say AI does not really give you finished products in quotes, in the sense that if authenticity is lacking in what your AI has given you, is your job as the creator, right, to really edit it and make it suit your own style. So don't be in the category of people that are missing out because of ignorance. Do you understand? So if you are usually overburdened, just put your thoughts there and click that AI should help you rewrite it. ChatGPT does the same thing, but now LinkedIn has seen the importance and they've infused it into their own platform, right? Unfortunately, this is available to only LinkedIn Premium users, right? But if you can pay for Premium, why not? If you can't pay, then you can just take whatever it is you would have used their AI tool for and put it on ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT is currently free. Another way you can use AI to increase your visibility is by using AI to optimize your profile, right? I usually tell my students that your LinkedIn profile should be selling you in your sleep. That's the only way you can fast track the buying process, especially for people that want to sell on LinkedIn. In fact, everybody is selling on LinkedIn, whether you have a product or you have a service. Even if all you have is a brand, it is worth selling, right? So you showing up on LinkedIn, you should have it in your mind that you are there to market something. Do you understand? You're there to market either a brand, an agenda, a service, a product. And your LinkedIn profile is one of the tools that LinkedIn has given you to really achieve that goal. I started with content because I noticed that a lot of LinkedIn users are more profile focused than presence focused, right? You spend so much money, you try to optimize your profile, but then you forget that a profile that nobody sees is as good as useless. So even as you try your best, whether to use AI or not, to create your LinkedIn profile, ensure that you also have an active presence, because content is what would move people to your profile. I usually tell my students that Your LinkedIn content is like your Facebook ad or your Google ad, while your LinkedIn profile is like your Google website. Your ad is being run so that you can get the eyes of your target audience to see your profile, right? So if you're in that situation whereby you have your profile optimized, but then you're not creating any ad that is bringing your target audience. When I say ad, I'm not talking about ad now, I'm talking about content. You're not creating any content to bring the eyes of your target audience to your LinkedIn profile, then you can see some of the reasons why LinkedIn is not paying you how it's meant to pay you, right? So the third thing AI can help you do on LinkedIn is to maintain a consistent presence. Now, for the people that put their hand down when I asked you, put a finger down if you don't know what to post on LinkedIn. ChatGPT can really help you. Don't be in that situation whereby you're still some of the problems people face in this 2024 were problems of 2021, problems of 2022. Not even 2022 is too close. Problem of 2020, right? You should not be putting your finger down in this 2024 about not knowing what to post on a platform when there's AI, right? You can literally go to ChatGPT and tell it, give me 10 content templates for a beauty brand business owner, right? That's the raw material that ChatGPT will give you. Then with that inspiration, you can edit it to suit your to make it sound more authentic, right? So I want you to come out of that shadow, that 2020 problem. You shouldn't be saying it publicly in 2024. It's embarrassing, right? And with AI, you can now batch create your content. Remember, it's not enough to just have an attractive LinkedIn profile. Your presence must also be consistent and attractive. Every time you create content on LinkedIn, you're registering your brand in the minds of your target audience. And this is what makes you top of mind, such that whenever they are ready to solve that problem, right, that thing that your solution addresses, you are the person that they run to. Okay. Now, how exactly can you use AI to optimize your LinkedIn profile? I know there are a lot of you that have paid people to optimize your LinkedIn profile, not knowing that AI can actually help you do it in minutes. And I want you to listen clearly because this is what people pay me a lot of money for. Now, these 6 things are very important part of your LinkedIn profile. If you want to create a LinkedIn profile that sells in your sleep, I think I have about 3 minutes. I hope we'll finish before then. These 6 things are very important things when you want to set up your LinkedIn profile. Before we talk about AI, let's talk about a highly converting or optimized LinkedIn profile. I would usually say highly converting because I think optimized has become so much of a buzzword. A highly converting LinkedIn profile in the sense that a LinkedIn profile that can sell you when you are absent. The first thing you need to look at or focus on is your LinkedIn banner. And I usually ask people, if you got the opportunity to advertise on Lekki Tollgate or New York Times Square. In fact, in 2021, I won a particular award and we were giving ad space, right? For people in Lagos, there's this place called Lekki Tollgate, and it has a billboard, very big, large billboard, and thousands of people pass there every day. So we were giving ads credit to advertise our initiatives on that billboard. And when I got it, I was so happy. I think that time it was worth about 10 million naira. So every time I would give people, or I'm in a class with my students, I usually tell them, if you got that same ads credit, what are you going to put out on that billboard? What are you going to put out on New York Times Square if you were given the opportunity to do that and you know the volume of people that would see that ad or that thing, right? Put it on your LinkedIn banner. Why? Because your LinkedIn banner would determine whether your profile viewers would want to scroll down, right? Because there's the banner, the picture, then all the other things that you have put there. If you lose them at the banner section, then you have lost them. That's why you see that a lot of people on LinkedIn, you see that you have more profile views than followers, or more profile views than people requesting for your services. Why? Because your profile did not do justice. So when LinkedIn tells you 200 people just viewed your profile and you're wondering, then why is the follower count stagnant? Why is nobody asking me for my services? Because of things like this, right? Another thing you need to do is create your service page on LinkedIn. Whenever you create your service page, this is something that will make you stand out from your target audience and even reduce the stress when it comes to selling on LinkedIn. In the sense that if I create a service like public speaking, I create a service page. It's nothing difficult. Just go on YouTube and search how to create a service page on LinkedIn. Very easy. Now, if I carry out that search, or if I create the service page for public speaking, if anybody comes to LinkedIn and they type public speaking, LinkedIn is going to suggest my profile to that person. So that's why I love LinkedIn so much, because most of the times you don't even have to struggle to sell. In the sense that the platform helps you market your stuff if you have done your homework well. So when you have your service page listing out all the different services that you offer, LinkedIn will help you to really market those things. And that's why you see that there's sometimes some people that come to my DM offering proposals for some of my services. I didn't market the service because I had those services on my profile. So even if this is one of the things that you do after this conversation today, this is going to help you, right? LinkedIn also allows you to put a link in your profile now. This is one way that you can really fast track the buying process on LinkedIn, right? And I usually tell people, if you have a more credible presence on another platform, it's better for you to now allow the credibility of your maybe Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter to rub off on your LinkedIn by linking your LinkedIn to your Instagram. I did it for my TikTok. So I'm just starting out on TikTok. And on my TikTok, I wrote 80,000, as at then it was 80,000 followers on LinkedIn, starting from ground zero here. So my LinkedIn credibility kind of rubs off now on my TikTok platform, right? So there are some of you that might have built a large audience on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. If you now want to make the decision to start showing up on LinkedIn, I would advise that you put a link to your Instagram or your Facebook, whatever. Feature it on your LinkedIn. Either feature it on your featured section of your LinkedIn or put it as the link in your profile. Why? Because you want to eliminate trust issues that people have when they see your brand, especially if you just want to start out on LinkedIn, right? When they see that you already have credible track record on other platforms, it eliminates trust issues. And then your experience section, obviously, when you include your experience section, it also helps. Not only does it help your credibility, it also helps your content, in the sense that there's some of you that might have done stuff. Maybe you attended a program that Google organized or Microsoft or whatever company. You now need to understand that this thing will not only pay you in credibility, it will also pay you with regards the visibility of your content. Let me be more practical. If I attended maybe Google Techstars Fellowship, if there's anything like that, and I put it on my LinkedIn profile as my experience section, if I create content tomorrow, it is more likely for somebody currently working in Google or somebody that has worked in Google before to see my content than someone else that doesn't have anything to do with Google. I'll say it again. If I attend, let's say Google is the one that organized this webinar and I attended it and I put it on my page, I include it on my experience section, this personal brand fellow at Google. Now, if I create content, it is more likely that my content will be visible to people that are currently working at Google or people that have worked at Google, right? Than someone in this same webinar that didn't put anything about Google in their profile. So there's some of you that have done stuff with organizations, attended stuff, include it in your LinkedIn profile so that your visibility can reach the people that have also done stuff in those organizations, right? Because you want to grow your influence on that platform exponentially. And these are the strategies that can help you do that, right? Then number 5, your bio, profile picture, follower count. For my LinkedIn Growth Program, I told all of them to use AI to rewrite their bios. As some of you that your 2023 bio should not be what you are using in 2024. All you have to do is copy what you have there, put it on ChatGPT and give it a prompt. Rewrite this bio to be more interesting or to be more credible, right? The prompt I use is actually rewrite this bio to be more credible. And you'll be surprised how AI would brand you in a way that you can't even imagine. And the funny thing is that when you read those things, you know that that is actually you. The problem is that some of us are so low in our communication skills that we cannot effectively communicate our value well, right? And so when AI does it well, you think some people now start having imposter syndrome or those stuff like that. And I tell people, there's no point. Can you do what the thing said you can do? If it's you that can do it, put it there. Because some of us are just unnecessarily humble for things that we can even do more than. Do you understand? So utilize AI to really help you communicate whatever it is you do to a global audience. When I was in the university, I applied for this internship in Goldman Sachs. So Goldman Sachs is a global investment bank. And that year, only me got that internship. Now, I was not the brightest in my class. No, there were people that had technical knowledge more than me. But then I asked myself rather, what made me really get this internship that year? Then I noticed, of course, God helped me a lot, and the grace and favor that He gave me was outstanding. However, I noticed that most people have a communication problem, right? Especially Africans. You don't know how to communicate your value to a global audience, and it's shortchanging you in different ways. And so, even in as much as I was not as technically intelligent as my other peers, because I was able to communicate my own value to a global audience, because I mean, it was white people that were interviewing us, I was able to get that internship. So, there are some of you that can't communicate the depth of your value. Use AI. ChatGPT will help you. I think I put the prompt here. Now, this prompt is to help you on ChatGPT to optimize your experience section on LinkedIn. This is somebody's LinkedIn profile that I worked on. Briefly write about the experience I had at Harvard Business School, where I went through a blah, 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 and how it boosts my credibility as a business consultant. It is for my LinkedIn education section. You just write this, give ChatGPT this prompt, and it's going to give you exactly what you did there. And the funny thing is that when you read through it, you know that this is actually what I did. I don't just know how to articulate my value, right? And so if you don't have the time to do it, allow AI to help you really stand out from the crowd and become more profitable. Because when people see depth, when they see credibility, being communicated well, being profitable will not be so much of a problem. Why? Because you have eliminated the trust issue that they have when you're not able to communicate what you can offer well. This is another prompt that we use in my program for for LinkedIn, right? So you know that when you open your LinkedIn profile, you see this headline. And that is one of the most important things on your LinkedIn, because every time you create content on LinkedIn, you see the person's name, you see the person's picture, and then you see the headline. Now, every time you create content, people see that headline. So if you really want to sell better on LinkedIn, you have to really get your message, the messaging of that headline rightly. And if you can't do it on your own, use this prompt on ChatGPT, right? I mean, beauty brand business owner, whatever it is you are, use this and then put the format here. Just copy this. If you can take a screenshot, you can do so. Copy this and put it on ChatGPT, and you'll be surprised how AI is able to articulate whatever it is that you do. So after this session, you should be writing, your notes should be full right now with next steps, not necessarily what I'm saying, next things that you should do immediately you leave this call, right? Other profitability tips to fast track your buying process on LinkedIn. Have an irresistible offer, because AI can, like I told you, AI can only enhance the raw material that you give it, right? There's some people that their problem is not necessarily the AI that is helping them or not helping them. Most of you don't just have an irresistible offer, right? You're just selling products or services. You are not selling an irresistible offer. I'll use myself as an example. So a product can be raw rice and let's say raw rice or raw yam, while an irresistible offer is fried rice, chicken, and free delivery to your house. That's an irresistible offer. So if you find yourself in a place where you have used AI, you have done necessary things that you need to do, and you're not being as profitable as you want to be, then this is why I put this in my slides. You now need to check your offer. And the funny thing is that AI can also help you create an irresistible offer. Just tell AI what you do, tell ChatGPT what you do, what you're offering, and tell it to make it more irresistible. For example, my LinkedIn program, we don't just do profile optimization. I'm giving them content templates to show up for 20 days. I'm giving them free photo shoots so that they can show up. I'm giving them profile review sessions with me, coaching calls. We're having sessions on how to turn your LinkedIn followers to buyers. All these things for the price that they pay is an irresistible offer. Nobody can say no to it, literally, if they understand the offer. So in whatever sector you are, even while you use AI to enhance your visibility and your profitability, at the foundation of that AI working for you is really having an irresistible offer that the AI can now partner with you to market or articulate it better, right? Also, infusing credible links in your bio. I already talked about it. For those of you that have offers or whatever it is you want to sell, you can always feature it on your LinkedIn profile such that every profile visitor would see it. One problem that people face on LinkedIn is that maybe last year or 2 months ago, you created content about this service that you are offering, and you think people coming to your profile will see it because you created content about it 3 months ago. It doesn't work that way. So I usually advise people, if you have a link to your website or your sales page or whatever it is that you want to monetize, feature it on your LinkedIn profile, right? Your featured section, when you open someone's LinkedIn profile, you see featured. That means everybody that sees your profile would always see that thing, right? So, and then recommendations and skill endorsements, people would better believe another person than you, especially in this decade or in this season where everybody's saying they can do anything, right? So if you're in that situation whereby probably you're not seeing as much conversion on LinkedIn or profitability, utilize recommendations and skill endorsements, right? Because when you go to Jumia, when you go to Amazon, you're looking for reviews. You will rather trust a review than whatever the product seller is saying. And I was scrolling on Instagram just this week and I saw somebody marketing a product. I checked the comment section and I saw one of my other very influential friends. She just put a comment, I bought this product and it worked for me. So happy for blah 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 blah. And then under her comments, I saw another person she put, this is all the, I think this is all the credibility I needed or something like that. Or this is all, there's something she said, but what it meant was that just seeing this, I am now comfortable to buy. So there's some of you that need recommendations on your LinkedIn profile, because when people just see that, they are able to want to do stuff with you. It reduces the trust issues that they have. Skill endorsements too. And that's why even in my LinkedIn growth program, I ensure that in the community, right, when they network with each other, they endorse themselves on skills, they recommend each other. Why? Because that's the easiest way to get it. So this is also, I'm telling you this so that when you are creating visible offers, you really create stuff that solves the main problem of your target audience. So I've come to the end of my session. I'm happy that I actually kept to type a bit. My name is Haoma Worgwu once again, popularly known as the LinkedIn Queen, and I hope that you have learned something new in this less than 1 hour. If you have any questions, you can ask me here. If there's no time for questions, you can probably you can come on live. Thank you, Mora. Mora, thank you so much for actually saying my session was loaded.
Amazing. How am I?
Chris.
Yes. Thank you so much, Haoma. Yes, we still have this. Some people are showing love. Thank you. I guess it was just so packed that they're trying to unpack everything that you have shared today. You gave us those ChatGPT prompts. I'm like, whoa, Haoma, what are you doing? You're giving us the secret. You gave us, the framework of the things that AI can do for you so that you can rank on LinkedIn. You also told us you gave us inside scoop of what people can benefit from your visibility program. So Haoma, can you tell us a little bit more about your visibility program so people can get to know, because I'm sure they didn't really catch that part. Okay, how can I learn from Haoma and all?
Okay, so my LinkedIn visibility program is a program that I use to help people build their income, influence, or impact on LinkedIn. Basically, I know that there's as much as I can do in 1 hour, right? So this program is a 20 days LinkedIn growth program in the sense that we start by training you. What you heard today is just nitty-gritty of some things that I take you through. I take you through content creation, selling on LinkedIn, and attracting opportunities on LinkedIn. There are thought leaders that join us just because they want to build a visible brand that attracts opportunities. Then another category of people that is for people that want to get jobs and clients on LinkedIn. And then some other people that are business owners and service providers that want to show up. So we have a 20 days content template that can help you, whatever category you belong to, show up on LinkedIn, right? So the goal of this program is to help you grow on the platform, not just grow. We now want that your growth, those followers that you are growing, right, to really convert to buyers. Whatever your buyer is, whether your buyers are recruiters, your buyers are people that will follow you, people that will give you opportunities, right? And we've done it for 18 times. Currently, we are in cohort 18. So the next cohort, if there's anybody joining us from here, you're going to join cohort 19. So we're not testing the waters. We've tried it again and again and again. On my LinkedIn profile, you see a couple of testimonials from people that have joined us, people in their 60s, 50s, even people in their 30s. They are basically joining to really see growth, because I personally believe that your personal brand is an asset class, just like land is an asset class. Your brand is an asset class that can be exchanged for monetary assets or any other thing. So this is what I've basically used to help people gain visibility and monetize LinkedIn. So for people that are interested, I think we'll share the link. We also give people access to photo shoots, especially for business owners, or maybe people you're trying to shop on LinkedIn but you don't have the right pictures, or the kind of pictures you have now will scare away a particular caliber of clients. Please repent. Show up the way, show up like the people that you want to attract, right?
Yeah.
And this was one of the reasons why I included that into the program. Plus skill endorsement recommendation. It's just too good to be true, basically. So yeah.
Awesome. So guys, don't forget, we have people, yes. So please don't forget that you can connect with Haoma. She's the LinkedIn queen. She has 90,000 followers. 90,000 followers. I'm telling you, man, when Haoma coughs, LinkedIn shakes. So she's your influencer's favorite influencer. And you know why I said that? Because in her program, she teaches other people that are influencers too. So you can
Yeah.
imagine the person that is behind a lot of successful brands on LinkedIn. And there's something you shared, and I totally agree. LinkedIn isn't saturated. So anyone
Yeah.
that is going hard on LinkedIn definitely would
Yeah.
build their business and grow their brand faster
True.
than those struggling for the pennies on the other
Yeah.
platforms. We don't hate on them, but just struggling for the pennies on this other platform. And I will share my own story. One thing I've learned from that LinkedIn has helped me is you get to connect with the decision maker
Yeah.
firsthand. You take out the
Yeah.
the middleman, you take out the gatekeepers, you take all those people
Mhm.
out, you go straight to the decision maker, because once you write a post and you tag them, they are most likely will respond to that
Yeah.
post, because they would see it, and when they comment on it, their followers will see it, and that's how you grow and your credibility increases. So Alma, thank you so much for sharing that. And yes, you also have a book called The Morning Star. Can you tell us a little bit about that before I know you need to dash, but can you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, so Morning Star is basically my book that I wrote because I strongly believe that a lot of people leave money on the table, they leave influence on the table because they are not standing out. So the Morning Star is basically the creature that shines with beauty and power. If you're Bible savvy, you know that there was a part of the Bible where Jesus Christ was called the Morning Star, and Lucifer was also called the Morning Star before he fell down. So basically, is the characteristics of the creature. So I wanted to raise up people in different sectors of influence that are the ones that are standing out. They are the ones shining with beauty and power. Power in the sense that their expertise is unmatched. So Morning Star basically is my book that showcases the frameworks that you can use to stand out in any sector that you are in, basically, and really establish God's glory on earth. And we launched it last year. Yeah, we launched it last year. And so if you are seeing yourself as hiding in any sector, understand that there's somebody that is not as good as you, but because the person is visible, because the person is standing out, that is who the audience are running to. That's who the money is going to, right? Because the person is visible, right? So we're in a world that pays visibility even more than expertise. So if you have the expertise, why don't you also take on the visibility and just check all the boxes? Yeah, so that's what Morningstar is about.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Haoma. Thank you, guys. Remember, if you upgrade to the VIP experience, you get to spend, be at the workshop with Haoma. Haoma said that yes, that she would definitely pop in, give
Yeah.
one or two insights which she didn't share today at the VIP experience. So But what all you have to do is check your emails, click the link, upgrade to the VIP experience so that you can learn from Haoma, learn from Dr. Daniel Moses, Faith Fetaro, and all the other speakers, including myself, on Sunday at the VIP experience. So Haoma, thank you so much. We definitely will get in contact with you because I know the team members and everyone that's registered for this conference will want to be part of the LinkedIn 20-day challenge, and I'm sure there's a special discount code for us at PBS and we're going to get that discount code and we'll share with everyone. And if you want that discount code, you need to be active. You need to check your emails so that once that drops, you definitely will take advantage of it. Trust me, 2024 is not the year you should be struggling
at all
with your finances, with your brand and all that. No, you don't need to do that. So like we say in Nigeria, follow person we know road. So follow the person that knows the way, and you would not have to make the same mistake the person has made. So Haoma, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Thank you. So guys, this is still Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding, and you just heard it from the LinkedIn queen herself, Haoma Worgwu. She broke down everything. That was a masterclass. On LinkedIn. And if you would like to learn more, then you need to pay close attention to the emails, because we're going to be sharing more about Haoma, the discount code where you can get access into her 20-day LinkedIn challenge. But one thing I want you to do right now is I need you to follow Haoma on LinkedIn and also follow me on LinkedIn. Mine is Emeka Ebeniro. You can find me on all social media platforms at Emeka Ebeniro, and Haoma also is at Haoma Worgwu. You can find out on all social media platforms as well. So do that for us. Follow us, send us DMs, whichever you want. Okay, this is where you are in your business or in your career. This is what you want to learn. Why don't you reach out to us and we'll be glad to help you. Another thing that I also want to share with you is remember that we have the VIP experience, and at the VIP experience, you get the personal branding, or you get the brand authority playbook, where you use that as also a guide, a playbook to help you build your authority online and increase your credibility. Because like I always say, it's not how much you know, it's how much you show, and your profitability is tied to your visibility. But the question people ask is, Emeka, how do I show up? I know I want to show up. I know I have to show up. How do I show up? Now, with that, for those that have taken advantage of the VIP experience, they'll be getting a copy of that playbook, and that will show you how to show up and build authority in your industry. Another thing I also mentioned is my book, Brand Brilliance, The 5 Dimensions to Building an Irresistible Personal Brand, is out. For everyone that has registered, you will get the link where you can get that book and you use that. I have broken it down, personal branding, in ways that so many people have never really thought about. It's about sensory branding. We've gone deeper to another dimension. We went into the 5th dimension, and we are going to use that book as well to help you build your global brand. We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, I'm going to be sharing with you a few more things before we wrap it up for today. So we'll be back after this short break.
The 2024 edition of Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding, the rise of AI.
Introducing Sit and Tickets, your go-to event ticketing partner. We have different tools available to ensure smooth admission control for your events. We have the tablets and we have the scanners. Now, our scanners comes in 2 different forms. We have the PDA scanners, which our agents are going to use to scan your codes at the entry of the event. And we have the DIY scanners, meaning do it yourself, which you are going to scan by yourself at the entry of the event, and then you'll be allowed to go in.
I'm super happy to be at the MTN 2023 Sales Conference. It's been an amazing experience. Kudos to seats and tickets. The sign-in using the QR code made it seamless.
We are having our 2023 sales conference and the theme is lead. It's been beautiful. I like the fact that we have the QR codes. You just use your phone to scan.
Visit www.seatsandticket.com today for your event tickets. Thank you.
Right. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining. In case you're just joining us, this is the 4th edition of Africa's #1 Global Summit on Personal Branding. And I'm your host and convener, Emeka Ebeniro. I'm a personal branding strategist and tech entrepreneur. And one thing I do and do very well is I help businesses increase their visibility and profitability. And I've been doing this for a few years now. And I'm also helping in the team at Property Wealth Education, which is headed by Dr. Daniel Moses. Now, people have asked me, Emeka, how do you do all these things? Well, it's what I'm passionate about. And I've also helped so many other businesses increase their visibility by providing them services when it comes to conferences. So if you're thinking of, okay, Emeka, my business will need a conference like this, or I myself, I want to bring together speakers, thought leaders on a platform just like yours, then you need to reach out to me. I'll be glad to show you how I can help you build your business credibility and profitability using events, because events is one way to grow your business. No hard selling. People can connect with you and people can learn from you and see that you're an expert in your industry. Just like what Haoma has rightly said, you need to find very creative ways of building your business and building your brand. And having live events or virtual events, as the case may be, is one way that you can do it. And I'm super excited and happy about the quality of speakers and coaches and consultants that we've brought together. Dr. Daniel Moses from the property background, Haoma when it comes to social enterprise and also LinkedIn visibility. And tomorrow, we have amazing speakers. We have Faith Fetaru, the renowned image consultant. We also have a leadership expert and personal branding strategist, Mengo Sherastin. And we have my man, all the way from Cameroon, Felix Fombag, the financial controller and business analyst as well. Felix is one person that you need to listen to when it comes to your finance and also building a personal brand. And why is that so? It's because Felix started his journey as being a brand manager in a financial institution before switching over to working in the finance department. So these guys, and also guys, I can't forget this person. We're also having Emily Wale Koya, the founder of the School of Personal Branding. If you are a Nigerian or you're an African and you know this name, that you know that Emily is a powerhouse when it comes to personal branding, these guys will be gracing the stage tomorrow. So I don't want you to miss out tomorrow. It's the same time, 7 p.m. GMT, 8 p.m. WAT, and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So whichever time zone you find yourself, please stay close to your devices. Make sure you check your emails because you get the notification where you can join us, and make sure you invite your friends, come with your questions, come with your writing materials so that you can learn. And also, please subscribe to this channel on YouTube. We'll be leaving this video here today. We'll be leaving it just for you so that you can learn, rewatch it, take notes, and also drop your comments. We want to thank you so much for your time. Thank you for registering. Thank you for making this a success. This has been day one, but this is not the end. I want you to come with the same energy, the same excitement, because day two is even going to be bigger and larger than day one. On behalf of every one of us at the Personal Branding Summit, I'd like to say good night, good evening, good morning, and God bless you.
The 2024 edition of Africa's #1 Global Summit on Personal Branding, the rise of AI.